What's up, Negroes and Negresses? I don't even have my mic in. Hold on, let me put my mic in. I meant to have my mic in. I can put my mic in. I ain't get my laptop here. Whatever. Fuck that mic. That's who that is calling me. I'm on live with my people. Come on. Chat room, come on in here. And don't ask no stupid questions. What's up, y'all? This nigga said, this nigga didn't even come up in here and say, what's up to the chat room before he asking who else is gonna be on this motherfucker. East Oakland up in this motherfucker. I was at a funeral yesterday, my cousin's funeral, and I got to see my family from the Bay. Hold on. Yeah. What's up, Toxic Masculinity Podcast? Bruce, Barry Price, Evan, what's up, y'all? Red Dragon, Dre Day, Devin, Lamont. Salute to all y'all. What's up, Wally? Yeah, we're going to talk about that top 200 pretty soon. It's coming around. Hey, Wally Gibson, you know what was funny? I wish I had my top 200 made already, because I wish I had already had it made. When I was up in Napa, I met the great Lalah Hathaway, and I was like, yeah, you in my top 200. She was like, 200? I was like, no, because I'm doing it in alphabetical order. But I wish I was able to show it to her when I said that, because I should have had that done in February. I wish I was able to send it to her. Like, no, I'm doing it off alphabetical order. Oh shit! Look! You see my parents? This is my backdrop. No shit, I didn't even see that. This is a family photo. Hey, look at me. I was a cute ass kid. Whatnot? That's me when I was like 3 or 4. That's my brother, my sister. My brother 5 years older than me. My sister 4 years older than me. My mom and my dad. I didn't notice that picture was back there. I was a little innocent motherfucker, wasn't I? Look at that. Look how innocent I look. And that's another picture of me when I was like 3, right there. And look how innocent I look. I was innocent as fuck, wasn't I? And I still am, goddammit. And I'm still innocent, shit. Evan, I might do a mixed crowd later tonight. I might. People talking about my post on Pam Oliver. Pam Oliver do look like Verdine White from Earth and the Fire. I'm fucking around. And this is my issue. I don't have an issue with our sister Pam Oliver. I don't want to talk about her. But I'm thinking like, man, Pam Oliver. Like my wife had saw that post I put up about Pam Oliver looking like Verdine White, and she was like, "You always saying women look like men. What? You always clowning?" And I said, "Baby, Google Pam Oliver anytime since she's been on TV, and tell me if you find one good wig on her." See, this how you know it's bad. I notice it. I don't be giving a fuck about women. Like, look, I ain't one of them old picky ass, metrosexual ass niggas. A woman can wear her hair however she want. I ain't picky about a woman's hair, as long as it look neat. I can't tell if it. Usually, if a weave is done right, or I would never know it's a weave. I think it's her hair. If a wig is done right, I'll think it's her hair. I don't. If it's done right, I ain't gonna know this shit. The only way DwannBrown is gonna notice your crop top is messed up is if it's intersected between fucked and up. Okay? You got to be really off the rails for me to notice your crop is messed up. And somebody said, but they roasted the gymnast. I don't mind it. Look, Gabby Douglas, that was out of bounds because she was out there working. Pam Oliver ain't doing tumbles and flips. Gabrielle Douglas was literally flipping for gold medals. Her hair could be all kinds of turn up. That's cool. I ain't tripping on that. But Pam Oliver is not out there sweating. She on the sideline. And I looked up her history. I was like, man, she gotta be like an immigrant chick. Black women don't have their hair like that. I saw she's from Dallas. She was born in '61 in Dallas. It wasn't no fucking immigrants in Dallas, Texas in 1961. She gotta be FBA. They didn't have black immigrants in Dallas in the 60s. So that leads me to believe she's hiring white women to do her hair. And I don't like that. Hire a black woman. Well, no black woman have you out there on TV looking like that. I'm like, you've been on TV for way too long for DwannBrown to notice your hair is bad. I don't notice that kind of shit. The first thing I notice on a woman is her ass. And yes, I'm married, but I'm still a man. The first thing I want, and if I can't see her ass, it's going to be her face. I'm going to notice her body shape, her boops and her baps. The hair be the last thing I be looking at, like one of the last things I look at on a woman. As long as it's neat and clean, I don't care. But Pam Oliver, God, we talked about culture wars today, and the culture wars are on. Part of the culture wars is, God damn it, at least be decent when you leave the house. Dang, I don't know. Maxwell, you taking it way too far. You say you care about your wife's hairdo. I ain't talking about my wife. I'm talking in general. Don't take things personal. General talk here. My wife, but still with my wife. I married my wife, I trust her. I trust my wife to do what she feels is best for her. And I got certain ways I prefer my wife wear her hair. But when she feel like changing it up, I don't ever be like, no, you can't do that. I ain't married no woman that gotta put in all kind of shit in her head. See, but I don't know. For me, hair is just different on women because you see my mom and my sister back here. This is back in the 80s. That's my mom's natural hair. That's my sister's natural hair. I ain't never seen it, like growing up I've never, my whole childhood and adult life, I've never seen a weave. Well, my wife, she put one in like once or twice. I think like when we got married, she puts, I don't know. She may have put something in there, her hair like once or twice. But my mom, my sister, they never had weaves. Both their hairs are always like going down all the way down their back. It's always been straight. My mom would go and go to the hairdresser and get perms and shit. Back in the 80s. When that picture was taken. That picture was taken like in like 19. I think that picture was taken like in 1985. I remember going to take that picture too. It was somewhere off Crenshaw and Olympic. It was, I'll never forget. I was like 5, but I have a good memory. That was like somewhere like off Crenshaw and Olympic where we took that picture. But I don't get it. Cause my father always told me growing up. My father always told me, you marry a woman because of who she is. He said, looks matter because looks is what's going to attract you to a person. But don't ever let looks be the everything, end all, be all of why you're in a relationship with somebody. Because Pop said, what happens if she gets in a car accident? My dad said, if your woman go through some stuff, she get in a car accident, she get an illness, and it changes her looks, are you going to leave your woman over something like that when she had your back this whole time? So you got to look for something deeper than looks. That's how my father raised me. My father also raised me to show how and showed me the difference between a woman of substance, a woman that has your back, and a woman that's only there for a good time. So Pops always told me, first, choose the one that got your back. 2, make sure looks ain't the only thing that's keeping y'all together. Make sure there's more substance below that. Make sure she got your back. Make sure she hear you. Make sure you hear her. Make sure y'all like being together and y'all have a good time together, because a life circumstance could change anything at any point. And if you marry somebody, you don't leave them because a circumstance changed in their life. That's how my father raised me, you know? So that's what it is. Don't say Max Brooks. Whatever you say about women, you got to say about men. It's equal. It's just as many fucked up men as fucked up women. But you're 100% right. A lot of women are loyal to their opportunities, but the same with men. We just see opportunities in different ways. Women see them through resources. Men see them through status. Game for your ass. A man's connection to a woman oftentimes is status, and the way she looks or what she offers is something that he can put on his arm and show other men. And the minute she loses that thing, a man is ready to dump her. Whether she ages out, gets pregnant, loses her shape, whatever that is, the man's gonna leave or cheat. The same way a lot of women leave if a man loses his resources. Point being, both got with each other over superficial reasons. So when you get with people over superficial reasons, whatever that superficial reason is, that bond that got y'all together is going to be the bond that breaks y'all when one of you two loses that leverage that you thought you had over the other. So remember that when it comes to relationships and when it comes to wisdom in relationships. And again, I keep trying to get into the topic of culture wars. In the culture wars, Max Briggs, you said that's a simp effect, but you're the one that's single and lonely. It be the loneliest niggas that be the most angriest. Y'all notice that? And it ain't nothing. Let me say something real. Another thing, fellas. There ain't nothing wrong with being single. Be single until you find the right one. Don't ever marry the wrong one. Don't ever marry the one you don't fuck with like that. But it's you single bitter niggas that's the funniest. I know niggas that's single. They like whatever. I'll find the chick. I still love women. I just ain't found the right one. I ain't talking to y'all. It be you niggas that talk about women all day, every day. The whole subject is these women this and these bitches that. And these, if you that kind of person that's always a woman and you always talking, nigga, it's you. Yes, fellas. Yes, fellas. I know this gets talked about, but a lot of women really would rather be single than be married, than be with a nigga full of problems. Okay, fellas? This nigga said he's the one that's 6'5" and you not fat. Well, are you in shape for other niggas? Because you ain't got a bitch. I'm 6'2" and happy. How about that? Talking about my parents that raised me. My wife going to go see her parents right now. Her parents still together after 48 years of marriage. This year be 49 years they've been married. And I was just got the phone with my sister and her husband. My parents raised 2 sets of kids that are happily married. So you can keep your superficial nonsense. Because my piece is in here. Your piece is in other people's perception of you. And that's why you're losing. That's always like my ultimate. That's why, y'all, it's good to be self-assured. Because when you're self-assured, nothing really bothers you. But when you're a self-assured asshole like me, I cannot be bothered and know exactly how to get to what bothers you. And I get to what bothers you, and I'm going to stab into that motherfucker. And I'm going to twist that motherfucking knife all up in your ego, nigga. Because you niggas is fragile. Oh my God. Hey, but Uncle Phil was married too, and he had bread. So, no, I'm not gonna stop and keep going, Maxwell. Show me your bitch. Hey, that should be rubbing niggas the wrong way. They see a nigga that's content and happy, and he ain't the stereotype. Hey, people like Maxwell in the chat room, he the kind of nigga that'll get a woman, and he'll spend like $300 on the first date, $500 on the next date, and then he'll bag her for like 2 or 3 months, and then he look up and read her phone and realize she been getting her cheeks clapped by the security guard at work this whole time. This nigga done been in the gym. This nigga done bought roses. This nigga done all that. This nigga done took her to motherfucking Ruth Chris, and not even a happy hour, the regular dinner menu. You dig? Had her order a la carte. Then he went through her phone. Who's Dontrell? Bitch. You mean the security guard at work, Dontrell? You been fucking him the whole time? That's you normal nigga problems. You superficial nigga problems. Don't get with people over superficial reasons. Open up your heart so you can receive somebody else's heart. And that's another thing before I get into my message. What's up, Kendall? That's another thing before I get in. I'm preaching right now. I'm led by the Spirit. I'm going to get to the message. I'm led by the Spirit. But what I'm here to say is, this is for all you niggas that be acting hard and talking about bitches this and bitches that and these women ain't shit. And for all you lonely ass brides out there that be like, these niggas ain't shit. This is for both you niggas because y'all on the same level. And y'all you at a low vibration, so you meeting other people on a low vibration, and y'all become a clusterfuck of confusion. Let me tell you something. You got to open your heart. You got to open your heart. Okay? Keep your heart open. Just because your heart's been broken don't mean you can't open it up again. Now, if you're one of the people that you just realize, look, there's some people out there, and I can read your cards on this. There's some people out there who just, relationships ain't the biggest thing for them. People who are like 9 of diamonds personalities, relationships can be rough because they be so hard on people, Their expectations be 9 of clubs people. Man, y'all expectations on people be way too much. And so, and for everybody, and I get it, relationships ain't gonna work out for everybody. But for those who want it to work out for yourself, you got to open your heart. So the fuck what has been crushed 7 times. Open it up an 8th time. That's true strength. True strength ain't going around talking about some, man, fuck these bitches. These bitches ain't shit. These bitches ain't shit. Fuck these bitches. Man, that's weak. Your itty bitty heart's been broken, so you call all the women's bitches? Fuck out of here, nigga. Fuck out of here. Oh, these bitches ain't shit, man. If the only thing in your mind is bitches this and bitches that, and these women ain't this and these women, and I can't trust a woman and don't trust a woman, open your little tiny little ass heart, nigga. Shit. You hurt? Then they come around in the chat room like this and be like, oh man, you a simp. Well, I'm a simp that ain't got to make my own soup when I'm sick, nigga. I'm a simp that when I get sick, oh baby, my throat. Can I get some soup? Ain't know what she gonna do. Go to the grocery store, get a chicken, and boil me up some chicken noodle soup from scratch. While your itty bitty heart is broken. You better listen to a nigga that's happy. I ain't gotta share shit with you lonely ass niggas. You could be up there hitting the gym. Niggas hitting the gym 8 hours a day. Nigga got a 9-pack. You ain't even got a 6-pack. You got a 9-pack. In a lonely ass bed. Fucking bitches you can't trust. Come on to the dark side. Come on to the dark side. And that's another thing. Niggas that talk about diet. Fuck you and your fake ass concern, nigga. You don't care. You nigga probably got this would be the part about it. The people that be trying to say you can lose weight, you niggas be having drinking problems. You niggas be having all kinds of issues. Niggas stress all the time. Nigga, your friends don't fuck with you. Niggas be having all kinds of issues. But because you think you know my issue based off what you see on a superficial level, you want to throw out advice. Nigga, fuck you and your advice. And your mama too, because she raised somebody who don't know better. Well, Maxwell Brisk, it's the reason why you notice it's a nigga talking shit that don't have his picture up here, right? This nigga probably look like JJ from Good Times talking about me. I got a nigga that don't got his picture up here. This motherfucker look like he mixed with Hell and Nah, talking about me. This nigga probably got a 6-pack and look like this nigga over here talking about me. nigga over here looking like Jim Hill on a Channel 2 News here in LA talking about me. This nigga, you probably got a cleft in your chin, nigga. I don't respect it. I got all these niggas in here with their picture up in here, and I got the nigga with no picture running his goddamn mouth. This nigga called his mama sucking the preacher's dick and want to talk about me. Nigga got all kind of problems. Nigga, this nigga in shape, nigga, and your girlfriend's fucking another bitch and won't let you in the room with her. How your girlfriend fucking another bitch and you can't get a threesome? Nigga, you so weak. Your girl went and turned out a college volleyball player because your game is so goddamn weak. And your daddy left you. It's niggas that don't be having their picture in the profile. Nigga, your daddy didn't leave you because he wasn't fucking with your mama. Your daddy left you because he said my son's a bitch and I can't do nothing about it. I'm a nigga that show my face with the shit talk. So I don't respect the nigga who don't. That nigga wife look like Ma'am from Webster. That nigga married a white woman that looked like Ma'am from Webster. Thomas, I got my wife. Nigga, your wife look like Brigitte Nelson, nigga. Oh, that joke, nigga, you ain't got a picture and your joke is weak. Come on, see, look, you in shape. Look, you ain't got no time. You gotta come up with something better than that, Maxwell Brink. Nigga, your name. How the fuck did you choose the name Maxwell anyway as a screen name? Nigga, your real name is Darvin. Fuck out of here, nigga. This nigga put his name Maxwell Brisk. Nigga, your real name is Darvin Washington, nigga. 1.2 student at the worst high school in your city. And your daddy's a bitch. You hit me up on the wrong day, nigga. I don't respect you because you don't have your picture up. Like, yeah, I'll respect the niggas who talk a little shit. If I can go in on your picture and then go in on you, all right, cool. I'll take that. But this nigga's name is Maxwell Brisk, and he didn't have not one good joke. This nigga had a helmet on when he was a kid, licking bus windows. That nigga takes a shower, get out the shower, and still smell like bus seats. This nigga think T.I. is classical music. No, nigga, I don't have 4 toes missing. As a matter of fact, look at my feet. I got some pretty ass feet. Look at them. You see them? I ain't got no corners on my phalanges, nigga. Nigga, look at them phalanges, nigga. I got some pretty ass phalanges. The fuck you talking about? Nigga, your feet look like you was crip walking on hot coals, bitch. This nigga did it. This nigga did the moonwalk on a barbecue grill with his sorry ass feet. Oh shit. I'm supposed to be talking about culture wars, and I'm dealing with this bitch ass nigga in the chat room. Oh my god. This nigga mama fixed ice cream trucks for a living. This nigga used to go, I'm going to my mama's job. She be up under the ice cream truck, changing out the alternator on that bitch. And she did it with no gloves. Your mama was known as man hands. And every time you fucked up, she slapped your little bitch ass. That's why you stupid. Your mama used to change ice cream truck carburetors with her own bare hands. And every time you fucked up at school, she slapped your little bitch ass. Boom. And now you ain't got no jokes to come back. Nigga, go do some more sit-ups, nigga. And hope that you can find a bitch that ain't fucking a security guard at work, nigga. Yeah, that nigga's a hush. Let me see here. At least I'm not on the verge of being an amputee. You what? It took you 5 minutes to come back with that. I'm not an amputee. Do I look like an amputee? Hey, look, nigga, I'm a fat nigga, but I still look. And look at that. I still got the horseshoe in my calf. You see that? You see that? I still got the horseshoe in my calf. I ain't shit getting amputee. Nigga, the only thing getting amputee is your life from your body as I roast your bitch ass. Nigga, you about to go home and cry in the car. We supposed to be talking about culture wars, and I'm talking about this bitch ass nigga. Let me pull this nigga's card. What's this nigga's card? What's this nigga cards? Oh, that nigga's card is the Ace of Heart. The crying bitch. Whew, okay. Alright, I'm done with that nigga. Yeah, that nigga's over here Googling jokes right now. I'm supposed to be talking to y'all about culture wars. I'm over here spending my time talking to a nigga. I'm gonna be talking about culture wars. I'm over here talking about this little dumbass nigga over here. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I should rename the title of this Dwwann roast nigga whose mom left him to be orphaned. Nigga said, nah, I keep bagging on him. Yeah, you can always shoot me a little cash app for a light reading. This nigga's talking about diabetes, high cholesterol. Hey, you know I had my physical last week, and everything came back good. But look, let's say my physical came back all bad. Let's say my physical came back that I'm the worst shaped human being of all time. Let's say that's true. I'm still a man and you still a bitch. Oh. I need some weed now. So we talking about culture wars. So let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right, Maxwell, calm down, calm down. You've had enough. Thank you, Star. He's had enough. Look, he's hurt. See, hurt people, you know? He's hurt. And he didn't know how to calm down. Didn't know how to keep his emotions about himself. And that's why he ain't got no woman. Women don't like men that don't know how to temper their emotion, fellas. Sorry about that. I had to. I'm gonna do some reading. Hold the reading until I'm gonna hold the reading until I'm done. Until I'm done. All right, with this, I'm gonna do readings on the backside. As a matter of fact, where's my laptop at? Damn it! Shit. I'm gonna have to get my laptop anyway to do some readings. But let's talk about this, and then when I'm done, give me like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, talk about this topic, and then when I'm done talking about that, we can get on into Jay, you sent me the cash app already. So, what's your birthday, Jay? Jay, what's your birthday? What's your page? Your birthday, Jay? Highway Jay? Let me see here. There we go. 6'9". I don't have my laptop with me. Can somebody, hey Star, can you give me the card for June 9th? Give me the card for June 9th, Star, please, or somebody. Or you go to my website, breakthroughcards.com. I think June 9th is a 8 of Diamonds day, but I'm not sure. I'm thinking it's 8 of Diamonds, but I'm not sure. Go to breakthroughcards.com to find your card. But Star, can you tell me, is June 9th? Is that an 8 of Diamonds day? Or 9 of Diamonds? One of them two. Anyway, Funky Town, Texas up in here. You said, let's see. Marcia said that poor dude's on a rag. All right, but we talking about culture wars. It's a big culture war going on right now, y'all. And y'all can timestamp for people who want to get to the beginning, the 33-minute mark to get what we're talking about. But it's a lot of culture wars going on right now. And what made me think about this topic initially was we're having culture wars both internally and externally. Culture wars within our community and culture wars from other communities. And other cultures are having their culture wars too. Oh, these are 8 of Diamonds? All right, Highway J. Your biggest thing as the 8 of Diamonds is to make sure that substance, you stick to substance, because 8 of Diamonds can get too caught up in the superficial. Your job is to be steadfast, to be strong, to be steady, and to be like a rock. But your rock got to be based on substance, Highway J, all right? You got to be substance-based with whatever you do, because you can get caught up in the superficial, and you can be very fickle. That's one thing you got to look out for as 8 of Diamonds. Don't be so goddamn fickle. You know, back off on being fickle. All right? So hopefully that helps. But I do I do 10-minute readings on Mondays. Book right now on breakthroughcards.com. It's only $50 for a quick reading on you on breakthroughcards.com. But anyway, Going back to what we're talking about, culture wars. What made me think about culture wars is I was at my cousin's funeral yesterday. And I don't mean to be drinking out of a bottle on camera. Excuse me. Yes, sir, Highway J. So, culture wars. I was at my cousin's funeral, and my cousin was, he spent time in prison. He was a great. I'm gonna start off by saying he was a great father. Great father. Rest in peace, Cece. Great father. Great husband. He loved his babies, man. He loved his 3 children. Passed away, only 41 years old, of a heart attack. In shape. So it wasn't like he was eating bad. He was in shape. But he had died 41 years old with a heart attack. And my mom was on the phone with his wife as it was happening. I appreciate that, Derek, folks. And my mom was on the phone. My mom is like the spiritual rock, man. And people know they can always call her when they need her. My mom is a heart. And so she was just calling my mom, talking about some other stuff. And my mom heard my cousin in the background say, I can't breathe. And then my mom heard that. And my mom used to take my cousin when we was kids. She'd pick him up and take him to church. My 4 cousins. Their mom had died. My Aunt Georgette. She died in 93. And so her young babies were raised, like, split amongst the family. Well, my auntie took care of them. And when they were in middle school, my mom would pick them up every Sunday and take them to church. My cousin Cece, Tyrone. And this is my backstory. So I'm giving y'all a little bit of backstory. Because, I do like to be somewhat open to y'all. I like to be somewhat of an open book, So I hadn't seen a lot of my cousins since the 90s. Because all this was going on in the mid-90s. My cousin Cece, I would stay in contact with him when he got out of prison. I found out when he went to prison the first time, my cousins who was there when it happened, they were talking about it. Like, basically, he stepped outside. Somebody had robbed a pizza man. He stepped outside. The police blamed him. And so my cousin, he lived a hard life. He got put in prison at a young age over something he didn't do. And and their environment wasn't the best. It was a messed up environment. And they went the street route, They went the street route. And my other cousin, I saw him for the first time in 20 years because I thought he was in prison for life. But they let him go because come to find out, he was only supposed to serve 9 years for what he did, and they put him in, and he served 23. So I saw him at the funeral. He was out. I got to see my other cousin who had gotten out. And I really got to, I knew my side of the family. I knew how hood they was. I always knew that side of the family was hood. But to the level of hood, I never got into. Because here in LA, there's a real nigga code. And you let street niggas do street shit. And when you a square nigga, which I'm a professed nigga, hand on my heart, hand on the Bible, I am a square ass nigga. I've always known to stay away from that hood shit. You know? And so I appreciate that, Kendall. Yeah, and so I got to really see so after the funeral yesterday, I spent time with the family that I had spent with in a long time, you know? And when I have spent time with them, they were over my parents' house. The last time I seen them, about 10 years ago altogether, was over my parents' house. And at my parents' house, everybody tends to be more reserved because my parents are just more reserved, you know? My parents is like, my mom still go to church. My dad, my dad back there, they don't preach. They live. Like, so everybody respects my parents because they ain't preachy. They don't go around saying, well, you need to and the Bible says this. Nah, homie, my mama live that shit. And my dad. They don't preach to your ass. They'll talk the word to you, but they ain't gonna talk to you about nothing that they don't live with their own lives as examples. So family family, when they come around, they be more reserved out of respect. So I got to be with my family yesterday without my parents around. And that was my first time being around my family, my cousins like that, without my parents around. And it was just so dope. Man. And sometimes my cousin Damien be in the chat room. He don't be saying nothing. I'll be around Damien. I love Damien. I love all my cousins, man. And I had certain cousins telling me certain things that was going on when I wasn't around. And I was like, look, y'all, I don't judge y'all. Because, with my upbringing, I was supposed to win. Nigga, if I didn't win with these two raising me, if I didn't win with them, I'd be the biggest complete loser on earth. I had to win with these two raising me. But they were dealt different cards. We're all living our cards out, you know? We are all living our cards out, all of us. We all got a set of cards to live. And we playing these hoes the best we can play. So when I'm talking about culture wars, one, there's the internal culture war we having as a people. And that's between our street segment, our so-called intellectual segment, the college degree niggas versus the hustling niggas. These are things that we have to learn. These are wars, and these are things that we're going to have to learn to synthesize as a people and harmonize. And harmonization doesn't necessarily always mean being around each other all the time. You know what I mean? We gotta know that to those of us who didn't get caught up in the streets, we can't have this judgmental, better than you attitude to those who did get caught up in the streets. We can tend to be so forgiving of other cultures, but not forgiving of our own and our own people and our own family. So I think the first step we got to do when addressing these culture wars is understanding that we not all the same. And to all my hood niggas that are out there, just because a nigga got a degree or didn't go your route don't mean he's softer than you. It don't mean he better than you. It don't mean he weaker than you. It just meant that was his route at defeating this thing we call white supremacy. Just like you not having any other ways that you could see out, that was your route. I was telling one of my cousins this last night. I said, I've always respected the street dudes because the street dudes understood at an early age that the school thing wasn't it. The following a program thing, something about following that program wasn't it. So you were rebellious by nature and you rebelled against the program versus a person like me It took me longer to realize the system ain't it. I didn't rebel. I followed the system. I followed the program. I got the degree. I opened the LLC. You know what I mean? I got the work experience and found the job. I followed it. And it took me longer to figure out that this ain't it. I'm going to have to create my own program. So I recognized that the hood niggas was just faster than me on that. Just because I did it better, just because I did it different, don't mean I did it better. Just because, and also for you niggas that aren't street, stop trying to act street. Let the street niggas and the pimps and the hustlers be. You had good parents who loved you. Yeah, you may have broken the law too here or there, but you ain't hood. Let that shit go. Stop all that. Man, I was in the hood and I had to get it from the dirt. No, you didn't. There's a lot of brothers out there whose black parents helped them out. Helped you get a car. Put you in the right after school program. Help your mama's friend Joanne helped you get that first job. Nigga, you didn't get it alone. You didn't get it out the mud. You had niggas that was helping you the whole time. Stop trying to act hard. Culture wars. And this is what I've been noticing. It's usually you outskirts niggas that are like that. I notice if I'm dealing with somebody that's from Atlanta, from South Dallas, from Third Ward, Houston, from South Central, from Brooklyn, from the inner cities of their city, DC, they all got a certain thing about them that's a little different than the suburban niggas. The suburb niggas. Niggas who grew up in the Inland Empire out here. Niggas who grew up in fucking Pomona and shit, and San Bernardino. You niggas and niggas who grew up in the valley. Not so much women from the valley. I noticed out here in LA, the black women that was raised in the valley, they be straight as a lake. Nigga, they be straight as straight can be. But the dudes that grew up in the valley, all the niggas, it's like, I guess growing up in the 90s, niggas was watching Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society and listening to fucking Eazy-E videos, thinking that everybody black was supposed to be like that. No. Be a square, nigga, and be a proud square. You know? We don't have to have this culture war of black people feeling like just because you don't come from the streets, you ain't all the way black. We come from all economic stratas. We're not a monolith of people. Some of us had great homes. Some of us had horrible homes. It's people out there who grew up with money and their house life was shit. Way worse than when I remember being in the hood. I know people who had all the material wealth and material things you wanted, but their family fit situation was shit. And then you'll get somebody from the hood talking about something. Well, you think you better than me because you grew up in such and such neighborhood. You don't know what the next motherfucker went through. Nigga, Andrew, you from the valley? My bad, bro. You a good dude. I bet you. You a good dude. But you said, but I'm right? Okay. So we can't judge other people. So part of this culture war that we're dealing with as a society, as a black society, there's certain things we can fix within our society first that white folks ain't got no control over. You can't look at the next black person and see what they look at their skin color, their skin tone, and assume you know what they've been through. Assume that they had it easier than you, or better than you, or harder than you. Because there's some people, I tell some of the people, some of the neighborhoods I grew up in, and they be like, ugh. I be like, man, 58th, nigga, you know how much fun I had on 58th and Broadway? 58th Street in between Broadway and Main, nigga. You know how much fun I had? Shit. And 88 was like one of the greatest years of my life. And that was the highest murder rate in South Central LA. I remember waking up to hearing gunshots. But as soon as them gunshots was done ringing, they never rang on our block on 58th Street. Usually the gunshots was like on another street. You would hear them, they'd be like, see the helicopter coming across, and then when that shit's done, go outside and play. So, yeah, 225 girl, you say, you know, because you think your cousin in the suburbs had a good life, and you jealous. Yeah. I was talking to some of my cousins yesterday, like, man, it was just dope because like my father was the one in the family that everyone loved and respected. It's just dope having a father and a mother that everybody respects, because some of my cousins respect my dad more than their own fathers, and that's just crazy to hear, and to hear them tell me that. You know what I mean? But my cousins would always, you know, it was always a love there. And even though I went a long time without seeing them, I see why my dad kept me away, you know? And if there was ever any, I never had any jealousy towards them. I used to be mad at my dad for not letting me go around them more. But looking back, I'm glad I wasn't around them. Because I found, nigga, some of my cousins, like, I'm not even going to shout their hood out, but, because I don't get into all them hood politics. But some of them hoods that y'all be hearing about on Vlad TV and all them hood shows talking about the gangsters in LA, the most notorious hoods. Yeah. Yeah. That's my blood. And not just one of them. It's a few of them hoods too. I don't get into naming hoods. I'm not even one. Let me tell you something, how square I am. Let me tell you how square I am. I probably only know the name of 6 or 7 gangs here in LA, maybe 10 at the most. There's dozens, if hundreds, if not hundreds. I may know the name of 10 of them. And I cannot tell you what their borders are, because I don't give a fuck. Never did. Another beautiful thing about being in LA, if you was a certified square like me, you didn't have to know whose hood was what, because I went every goddamn where. And Kendall, I saw your text message, Kendall. You're an asshole, all right? When I posted a picture of of what was going on, yeah. The funeral yesterday was redded out. It was blooded out. And here come my not thinking ahead ass with a blue shirt on. I am the only person in the funeral wearing blue. Everybody's like, all the old folks wearing like a black suit or whatever. But one thing I will say is, this is going back to culture wars. Look, I can go ahead and shout the neighborhood out. It ain't like I ain't hiding nothing. I can shout the neighborhood out. I ain't committed no fucking crime. Neither did they. I'll say this about my cousin that passed away. His hood showed out for him. He was from Fruittown Brims, and they showed up and showed out, and they helped. And this is according to his wife. Salute to his wife. Nothing but love and respect for you. Whatever family issues are going on between y'all and other people, ain't my issue. But I love my family, and I love his wife. She's beautiful. As far as her interactions with me. I was just talking to my cousin's wife about a month before he died. She would every now and again inbox me on Facebook just to say, "What's up, cousin?" But his wife, Beautiful soul. I don't see people for what they do. Let me say that thing. Y'all may know some of my family and know some of the stuff that they did. But if you my family gonna do no fucking wrong. No fucking wrong. I only see the good in people. I don't get in the rest of that shit. But I will say, according to my cousin Cece's wife, them Fruit Town Brims, they showed up financially for her. So you can say what you want to say about these street niggas. You can say all you want. Yes, it was a sea of red. The funeral home was blooded out. But I will say, according to my cousin's wife, they came through financially. And his casket, what I saw, it wasn't cheap. Culture wars. You think you know a group of people until you get close to them. And me being here in LA, I get to see, y'all thought I was going somewhere else with these culture wars, didn't y'all? See, I heard what's his name? What was that rapper? He said NWA just yesterday. The clip came out. Special Ed came out and said NWA poison rap with those gangster lyrics. Let me tell you something. That's the conditions we's living in LA because of how the social engineering works out here. The gang life is a response to conditions in living on the West Coast. See, a lot of you East Coast niggas don't understand this. Y'all got other black people around y'all on the East Coast. It's a lot of black people in y'all cities where y'all live. And if they in your and you got black cities around you. If you in New York, Brunswick, New Jersey ain't that far. East Orange, New Jersey ain't that far. Newark ain't that far. If you in DC, Baltimore ain't that far. Richmond, Virginia ain't that far. If you in Charlotte, Atlanta ain't that far. You in Dallas, you still got Houston. You got East Texas, North Louisiana. Everywhere you look, you can go. If you leave Cleveland, you can get to Akron. You can get to Detroit. You can get to Chicago. Naptown got a nice section of black people. But let me tell you something. In LA, we ain't got nobody. Oakland is a 6-hour drive north. That's far. You niggas can get to another black town within a 2-hour drive, most of y'all. Most black people, if you're in a major black city, you can drive 2 hours to get to another city with a heavy black population, in most cases. Maybe 3 or 4. In LA, we on our own. So in order to combat white supremacy out here, we had to gang up. Look up the history of LA in the 1940s and 50s. The Spook Hunters was a white gang out of Linwood, California that would come into Compton. Well, before Compton, they would come into South Central and kidnap black people and take them back to the white side of town and kill them. The LAPD is the mafia of LA. We never had the mafia out here because we had the LAPD. So we had the gangs are a response to our environment. There's nowhere to go to, nowhere to run, baby. Like Martha and the Vandella said. You got nowhere to run. Vix, that's it. Bastards of the Party is the best depiction of LA gang life and why it has to be. Hey, man, can you put that in the chat room, Vic, where you saw that? Can you put where that is? I actually want to go back and watch it. Oh, so it's on Vimeo? Okay, I'm going to get it. My cousin DeRay is in that. He ended up getting killed right around the time that came out. But my cousin D-Ray was one of them fucking gangs over there. I don't get into all that shit. But I think he was Fruitown too. I think he was Fruitown Brims. But my cousin DeRay was that. He's in Bachelors of the Party. He's one of the young homies. So when you listen to, I had a nigga from Dallas arguing with me about the dangers of West Coast rap and what it did to fuck up rap. See, niggas that say it fucked up rap are just people who follow narratives. They never took time to listen. That's why I emphasize with you guys so much. Listen. Listen for yourself. Don't listen to narrative. Narratives are always bullshit. 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 Test things out for yourself. I had a friend from Dallas, and he was telling me, he said, gangster. I was like, give me an example of an NWA song that's bad for the community. And he said, Dope Man. He said Dope Man was a negative message. I said, bruh, did you listen to Dope Man? On the song Dope Man, it literally ends saying, if my sister dies, I'm going to put a fucking slug in your culo. The Dope Man song, the whole song is talking about how the dope man is not respected. He's nobody to look up to. You killing the people in our community, and you're going to either end up dead or in jail. That's the message in Dope Man. What the fuck is you dumbass? Look, I got to question how remedial these East Coast niggas is that be talking this shit. That's a message, nigga. And plus on top of that, Q was 16 when he wrote Fuck the Police. You got these grown ass men in their 40s and 50s criticizing a fucking 16-year-old author of a song that he's writing about what he's seeing. Did you niggas listen to the message? I be thinking, goddamn, these niggas is slow. That's how I like. It's either you dumb as fuck or you're just repeating a narrative. Since I'm a positive guy, I'm gonna go when you're just repeating a narrative. I'm not gonna call you dumb. I'm just going to say you're repeating a message. That's what I'm going to say. I'm not going to call you dumb. Because if you took time to listen, there's no way you could draw that conclusion. How are you going to be 50 years old criticizing the ink pen of a 16-year-old? I got all the smoke for these East Coast niggas. And you down south niggas if you want it. If you want to come at West Coast music. And you know why? And you know what? Why my smoke is going to kill all these niggas off? It's because I used to think like you dumbass niggas until I took time to listen for myself. I grew up here on the West Coast. I didn't necessarily like Death Row Records when they was out. Nigga, I was listening to Earth, Wind & Fire when I was heavy into that Earth, Wind & Fire live album, the one that dropped in 96. In 96, when All Eyes on Me dropped, I was into this Earth, Wind & Fire live album. That was my favorite album in 96, nigga. So you're not coming from somebody who's the biggest. Yes, I'm from the West Coast, but see, I'm a nigga. I was never a big. I was never infatuated by West Coast rap. It still doesn't infatuate me. I like it. But it doesn't infatuate me the way jazz infatuates me. It doesn't infatuate me the way funk and the way soul music infatuates me. Nigga, that's a hip hop. I like it. I like it. So I can speak about it from an objective point of view, and I can speak about it from the point of view that used to think like you niggas until I listen with my own ears. So I got smoke for any nigga. You can call any rapper out there that want to talk to DwannBrown, West Coast, South, and you want to say about what the West Coast did wrong, how the West Coast ruined. I'm your Huckleberry, nigga. Put us in contact. Let's go. The nigga said I came home for lights. Shit, nigga, what the fuck you talking about? I came home for lights, nigga. We used to be on 58th and Broadway in the summertime. We used to be playing freeze tag until like 1, 2 in the morning. We came in when we was ready. My grandmama and my granddad was always playing cards on Friday night. Well, Aunt Hazel, my parents, when they was playing cards, nigga, we be outside until the fuck we was ready to come in. Even if they weren't playing cards in the summertime, well, man, we never was in the house before midnight. And I'm talking about when I was 7. We'd be up and down 58th Street. Nigga, I ain't never been one to be inside the house. Nigga, I was always outside. On the basketball court. That's why I think I'm such a real nigga. Because I was socialized in this world. My dad put me out there. I got to see my cousin Corey yesterday too. It was dope. My cousin Corey's when I be telling y'all. Remember I be telling y'all that story about over there in BPS Hood? Where I grew up at Dorsey Pool with the niggas that had the diving board. My cousin Corey, nigga, was the greatest diver ever. I remember watching Greg Louganis in the Olympics thinking, nah, that nigga weak. My cousin Corey. Nigga, my cousin Corey used to do triple somersaults, throw up the set, boom, and hit that water with no splash. I ain't seen my cousin Corey in years. I got to holler at him yesterday at the funeral. It was dope seeing. I got to tell Corey, man, nigga, you was my hero when I was a kid. I was like, nigga, that's my cousin. I was like the little kid. He was the older kid. I was like the 7 or 8-year-old kids, and he was like the 16-year-old kids. And I'd be like, hey, man, my cousin about to go up. Oh, that's your cousin? Yeah, watch. The nigga hit that diving board. Nigga do a 360, 180, spin around, throw up the set, booty bamp, blood, boom. Like, god damn. But yeah, West Coast music is, you're right, Too Short dropped game. West Coast music dropped game on how we was living. That was the music for our environment. That was the music. How does look? This is how weak East Coast niggas is. They'll talk shit about West Coast music, but they'll uplift. What was that? What was Biggie's song? Was it the 10 Crack Commandments? What was Biggie's song? What was Biggie's version? Was it the 10 Crack Commandments? That wasn't nothing but How to Survive in South Central by Ice Cube. Ice Cube said, rule number 1, get yourself a gun. A 9 in your ass to be fine. Nigga, when what's his name? When Biggie dropped the 10 Crack Commandments, that wasn't nothing. The 10 Crack Commandments, that wasn't nothing but How to Survive in South Central. That's all. Go listen to How to Survive in South Central. Dropped 1991. When did 10 Crack Commandments drop? What, 94? Too Short's the Ghetto. We was making music to survive our environment. That didn't kill rap. Shame on you dumb niggas for not listening. It wasn't glorifying shit. It was talking about what we were seeing. And that's why these Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans and Caribbeans and Latinos can play hip hop. Because these East Coast niggas is too goddamn territorial with they shit. And they ain't even the coldest ones that do it. I'll take that House 12 New York dudes. I'll take that. You're right. You're right. You're right. Even though New Jersey niggas be trying to do some bullshit like that too. It's primarily New York City niggas. But I notice this, when I be talking about music, the common denominator I get, whether they be from the South or the East Coast, is always Dwan, you're from the West. Look, I heard, it's so many rappers been talking about the West Coast music and what it did. Like, no, nigga, Charleston White from Dallas. Talking about West Coast music. No, you niggas got it twisted. It was game and all that music. You niggas just got lost up in the beat. Yes, New York City is the coldest. Like when that storm hit, what was it? That winter bomb hit back in 2011 that froze y'all out, and it was snow everywhere. New York was the coldest back then. When was that? Remember that when that snowstorm hit New York? And in the whole upper Northeast got in a deep freeze. Yeah, that back then, yeah, New York was the coldest. Outside of that, no, New York's not the coldest. It's not. It's one of many cold cities. Put it like this: if black people live there, it's probably cold musically. Chicago's dope, nigga. Birmingham, Alabama's dope. Memphis is dope. Atlanta's dope. Nigga, if you black and you releasing good music that's from your heart, you dope, nigga. Niggas getting all that regional beefing. Fuck out of here. My favorite hip hop group of all time is Outkast. I like Outkast more than Dog Pound. Dog Pound, I love Dog Pound. Philly dope, yep. I'll tell you what's harmful to rap. I'll tell you what did harm rap. That fuckboy era of hip hop. Spend your money on hoes and clothes. And I'm not absolving the West Coast. The West Coast did have a whole bunch of stupid ass themes. I think as Death Row went along, as the 90s went along, that gangster stuff did become a caricature. But in the 80s, it was pure. Straight Outta Compton was a pure album. I think as the 90s progressed, as you get into 93, 94, it starts to become more of a caricature type thing. I'm not here to say West Coast is innocent. West Coast had a lot of bullshit, and that's why I was never that into it. And now look at all these niggas. All the niggas was playing tough in the 90s. Now what are they all doing? They all on Vlad TV. They all on Art of Dialogue. They all on these channels talking and snitching. All these niggas is doing is talking. But all that spend your money on hoes and clothes and rims, and we talking about culture wars. That was harmful. Because only a few people became gangsters. But in the 90s, in the 2000s, when they were telling us to spend our money on hoes and clothes, we still, at the time, owned the hood, and the hood was relatively cheap. When they were saying the women in the caviar, they know who we are, because they're pimping all over the world. When they were singing that, you could buy the house down the street from you down south for 30, 40 grand. Am I lying? When they were saying, when Jay-Z was saying 30's a new 20 because I have a better Rolls Royce, a better car, and I have bigger rims. You could buy a house in L.A. L.A. was still going up. It was hella expensive by then. But let's go back to the 90s when it was cheap, even cheap in L.A. When they were saying money ain't a thing, you can still buy a house in the hood in the hood in L.A. for 130 grand, 140 grand. But they was, and that meant 20 grand down. They rented out. All you needed was 20 grand down back then. And you could rent the house out. But they were saying buy it on bottle service at a time that we could have secured ownership of the hood. We wouldn't be dealing with gentrification nationwide right now if the vibration of the music was buy this, own this. So, what's more harmful? The gangster rap? Or the people that told us to blow our money on superficial shit? Now, the immigrants are getting all the jobs, the economy's out of control, and we now overall are having to move around this country and live in different cities, live on the outskirts of our own cities. Think about that, man. So what was more harmful? See, this is my pushback to the gangster rap guys. People from New York talk about how bad New York was in the 70s. The buildings with the dilapidated buildings, the burned out buildings with broken windows. The crime in New York was crazy in the 70s. That's when the biggest song on the radio was Ain't No Stopping Us Now, We On The Move. That's when songs like Happy Feelings all over the world. It wasn't the music. The 70s had the highest vibration music ever. The hood was still fucked up. Back in the 80s, niggas wasn't just listening to hip hop. Like I said before, I grew up, the same niggas I was listening to Houdini and Ice-T and NWA, they was also listening to Anita Baker. We weren't in no better situation, and our music was better, but economically, we weren't in our better situation in the 40s and the 30s. Are you hear the background? You listen to the background? Yes, Gene Harris. Yep. But nigga, so do we need to fix our music? Yeah. But our biggest issue, I don't think it's even the lyrics in the music. Everybody focus on the lyrics. The biggest issue in our music isn't the lyrics. It isn't what they're saying. It's the stylings of the music. It's the box. It's the 2-bar loop. Loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. Loops and repetitiveness. I got holes in this place. I got holes in this place. I got holes in this place. They just chant, nigga. Give me that money. Whatever the fuck chants they be saying. And it's a 2-bar loop. So no matter what they're saying in the music, it's keeping you boxed in mentally. Because music is supposed to expand your mind. Music is supposed to have bridges, chord changes. And excuse the junkiness in my house, I still ain't moved all the way in. I still ain't hang my pictures and shit. God damn. That's what happens when you move in. And then you like, fuck it. But, let me get this here. No, I'm not gonna drink it. I'm gonna drink. No, should I drink this? Yeah, I'm gonna drink this. But let me hold on 1 second. Hold on one second, y'all. Cabinet. I gotta open up this wine bottle. Hold on. Come on now. Here we go. Me and the wife was at the Hollywood Bowl, and we didn't finish this the other night. So I'm gonna finish it now. But there we go. These are the things we gotta think about. Culture wars. Culture wars. We gotta start seeing who is who internally. Everybody that look bad ain't bad. And everybody that look like they got their shit together don't necessarily have their shit together. You gotta know that. I think when we done, I'm gonna call my sister. I love my sister. We gotta laugh. I ain't talked to my sister since, what's today, Friday? I ain't talked to my sister since Wednesday. I gotta call my sister and laugh. What's up, Ebony? You in that Chardonnay right now, Rafisis? What y'all talking about in the chat room? I'm gonna have to do another show on culture wars because it's another place I want to go to with this, but that's gonna require a part 2. Right now, I kind of just want to talk. Today, we talking about internal culture war. I might retitle it to internal culture wars. But what y'all talking about in the chat room? What y'all talking about in the chat room? And that's another thing. Like, you gotta look at it like spiritually in some ways too. We ain't never supposed to all be alike. That ain't supposed to happen. You gotta know how to settle differences between peoples. And know that even though I'm talking about, having respect for opposite sides, it don't mean you gotta be around them. Look, I can only take so much hood before I gotta get the fuck up out of there. I'm drinking this shit here. Corbel Rosé. Brut Rosé. I usually don't drink no cheap shit like this. But with me and my wife, we haven't done our wine pickups all summer. I got at least 7 or 8 cases of wine waiting on me. But I ain't been able to give it to Wine Country lately. I might go next week. I ain't been able to give it to Wine Country. Look, my wine supply, usually that whole bookshelf is full of wine. Usually that bookshelf is full of wine. But it's looking real empty. And champagne. So I got this cheap shit. Yeah, music doesn't bring us together anymore because people like to politicize it and argue it. But that's all engineering. Music still brings us together when we listen to the right music. Music still brings us together. And if music isn't bringing you together, then you need to question the music you're listening to. Don't, listen to whatever you listen to. But going back to what I said about how music is structured is the problem. the music is boxing us in. And when you have a 2-bar loop and repetitive, I don't care what it's saying, it's keeping your mind boxed in. And look at the vibration of the people. The vibration of the people are for the most part, are very in the box. You're either going to vote blue or you're going to vote red. You either for something or against something. Think about how society is constructed. The music really is affecting us, but not in the ways they're pointing you to. It's affecting you into how boxed in the way you think and perceive the world. When you box in the music, people have boxed in ass thoughts. That's why jazz is so important. That's why Herbie Hancock is so important. You dig? That's why Miles Davis is so important. See, that's Herbie right there playing. Listening to some Herbie right now. Appreciate that, Rafi. Yeah, gotta be explained in detail. So it's not the what you're playing, what you. So people talk all day about trap music, right? And how trap music is making people kill each other. But all you do is listen to Drake. All you do is listen to who's ever hot on the radio today. Who's ever mad? If you top 40, that's what you listen to. Your thought and modalities of thinking are no more developed than the person listening to trap music all day. Because it's the muse that gets in your mind. Muse is the subconscious. It muses you. That's what music is. The root word of music is muse. It seeps past your conscious mind into your subconscious mind. And then so you can't talk about if your favorite song in 2005 was dun 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 dun. That wasn't no better than anything drill going on right now. If the production they put behind Usher, if that's your level of R&B, now if you nothing wrong with liking it. Everybody like what they like. Again, don't take me wrong. I'm not saying that you just because you like the song you crazy. No, I'm saying is if Chris Brown is the most in depth you're getting with your R&B, then yeah, you're about the same as the people listening to trap music, because the way that music is produced in a box, loop de loop. They don't even give you their vocals anymore. They're auto-tuning it. You just, it's boxing in everything on how your brain works. If you ain't into jazz, fine. But I say listen to music from the 60s and the 70s. Whether it be rock, the 60s and the 70s music was the last time music was pure. Whether it be the white side of the game, you can listen to. I listen to some Pink Floyd. You know, listen to some Led Zeppelin, Grateful Dead. You know, listen to some Funkadelic and listen to the Spinners. Listen to some Luther Vandross. Listen to music that had a bridge, an intro, an outro. You know? Press the number 1 if you want me to do an incense and ashtrays tonight with some music. Press the number 1 if you want me to do an incense and ashtrays. If you want me to do an incense and ashtrays and talk about some music, I'll do an incense and ashtrays starting at 7 o'clock. So yeah, if y'all give me like an hour break, y'all better be there. Go download the Mixcloud app. Mixcloud. Go download Mixcloud. And type in at DwannB. Moderators, if y'all got my Mixcloud link in there, put it up in the chat room. Mixcloud.com/DwannB. If y'all down, we will do an incense and ashtrays at 7 Pacific time. And we'll break some of this down. That's what we're going to do, all right? All right, y'all said number one. All right, cool. So go to Mixcloud right now. Go to mixcloud.com/DwannB. And we will do an incense and ashtrays either 7:30, at the latest 7:30. But look for it between 7 and 7:30. I got to like make a call and do something real quick. But yeah, all right. I'll break all this stuff down. We're going to play some music. And I'll play some variety and tell y'all exactly what I'm talking about between music that's boxed in and music that's not. So download Mixcloud app right now and sign up for your notifications so that you get a notification that I'm live. And when you get that notification, come on in and we're going to do it. This show ended up being something totally different than what I said it was going to be. But hey, gotta follow the spirit, right? I follows the spirit when I talk to y'all. I don't write shit down. You see, I ain't got no notes. I ain't got no notes. Only thing I got here is some goddamn champagne, nigga, a blunt, my Apple headphones, some playing cards, and my PlayStation remote, nigga. I ain't got no notes here. That's it. That's it. Blunt, cards, champagne, nigga. I don't do no fucking notes. So the show didn't go the way we planned. We talked a little bit about, but I'm about to do another follow-up. What should I change the title of this show on the... I'm gonna keep the title the same. But yeah, y'all know what it is. But follow me on Mixcloud in 1 hour. Mixcloud.com/DwannB. We're going to go live at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Holla.